Now, a drug that could help people lose weight has been approved by the European Medicines Agency. It's called liraglutide. Patients inject it into their stomach before breakfast every day. It works by suppressing the appetite. The drug is already used in lower doses to treat diabetes. It sends signals to the brain that tricks someone into feeling full. In trials, it's been reported that men and women who injected themselves daily lost an average of 19 pounds, around 1.5 stone, in 12 months. Jason Halford is the former president of the UK Association for the Study of Obesity. Hello there, Jason.
Good evening.
Good evening. And Fatima Parker, an obesity campaigner. Hello, Fatima.
Oh, hello,
Good
Stephen.
evening.
Hello,
What
Steve.
exactly is this? I'm sure I'm probably not pronouncing it right either, Jason. What is it?
You wouldn't be the first person to stumble over that word. Liraglutide, as you can see, I'm having problems saying it this evening, is an interesting drug because it's actually a synthetic version of a peptide that we have in our stomach. And all it's doing is really boosting a natural signal that most of us have to help us feel full and keep that feeling of fullness for longer. And that's quite important when you're trying to control your appetite. And, it's very difficult for people to control their appetite when they're on a diet. And so tools like liraglutide, which affects the brain by strengthening the signal from the stomach, can be quite useful.
And is it likely to be approved? Are we likely to get it soon?
Well, obviously there are national steps to go through. The European approval process is not quite complete. The expert panel have decided that they're in favour of the drug being approved. There will be further processes at the European level. But obviously in the UK context, it's got to get through NICE. And NICE will make a value judgment on whether the drug has a cost-benefit to treating obesity at the individual, but also at the national level.
Are there side effects?
All drugs have side effects. And with these drugs, obviously there is nausea, there are stomach problems associated with them. Classically, anti-obesity drugs have not had a good history on the side effect profile. That's why it's taken so long for this particular drug to be approved, because regulators, both in the US and in Europe, and particularly Europe, have had their fingers burnt somewhat. So they've been very, very careful in approving drugs more recently.
Some people will be wondering, Fatima, if this should be approved and distributed through the NHS.
It's a weight loss method. It's yet another weight loss method. I mean, in our philosophy, we do not encourage dieting or weight loss. We are for educating the public and eating healthy. And then if we would like to get someone to lose any weight, we'd have to have a healthy body before getting them to take any synthetic hormones or products that are, as you say, have not been approved.
So you wouldn't take it then, would you?
No, personally I wouldn't. Because it interferes. First of all, dieting interferes with the signals, your neurotransmitters and the hormones that signal to your stomach that you are, or from your brain to your stomach to say that you've had enough food. In dieting, they'll tell you don't listen to your body. You follow a certain regime and you stop when you have your 1,000 or 1,200 calories, and that's it. And now we are going to be encouraged to get chemicals to reinforce that.
Why can't rather than just doing it ourselves naturally, Jason?
Well, it's quite interesting because Fatima's quite right. What happens on a diet is the very hormone that this drug affects goes
Leptin.
down. So the dieting produces a change in the hormone that's meant to make you feel fuller. So if you're overweight and you're having trouble controlling your eating behaviour, the very act of dieting makes that even worse. So what the drug is actually doing is strengthening that signal again. And that means people feel more in control of their appetite rather than less in control of their appetite.
Right, so hold on. I'm interested in this, right? Because my goodness, do I go up and down. I got down to 15 stone a few months ago, and I'm back up to 20 stone again. I'm actually devastated by this, so I'm really interested in this. So you're saying that when you start dieting, the hormone leptin, is that right?
Well,
it falls and it makes you hungrier. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the hormone leptin is one secreted by your fat tissue. We call that a tonic signal. So that tells you about the fat stored in your body. And obviously, when your body stops listening to leptin, then you're no longer getting that signal. This is a hormone which tells you about food in your stomach, but the story is pretty much similar. The act of dieting dysregulates these hormones, and these hormones which are meant to help you control your appetite are not functioning properly. In the case of leptin, you become insensitive to it. In the case of GLP-1, you don't secrete as much of it. And so what the drug actually does, or what drugs which tackle this actually do, is replace some of that.
Really interesting. Jason, thank you.
Stephen, I think, it's probably will work for some people that doctors would think would need a little bit of help. But for the general public, there are so many points to take into consideration. If somebody has an eating disorder, a binge eating disorder, they cannot stop eating. I don't think that using a drug like this that would probably be very mild on ghrelins and leptins would control their eating disorders. They need help. And then on another side, just giving it to all obese people under the assumption that all obese people cannot control the way they eat and they need something that can stop them. And the only thing that is going to help from what I've read is reduce 10% of your eating.
Fatima, thank you.
I wouldn't disagree with any of that.
Okay. Jason, thank you very much indeed. Thank you, sir.